Nunchi Yatakya Hu Alliance Mission, Huyapan, the Samajong, Hu Gokesha. Yatakya no yo, Yatakya Kunanu Oti Nunju. Hoya Ipan to name, Humo Jesu to the Lu. Ha to Taiwan Ju, Lufuchi, Otakya. Jano Yataja, Yatakya, the Alliance Mission, Tomokong Ilu District. Conference Jong Boleno, Yale Mong District, Yailu District, Chu Sene to Alliance Mission. Tautu Guyo interview ya Tim Crouch. Nia Utai to Alliance Mission. Xiong no be more to lay Jobo Hyang to Hyang to IWs the Shi to Samojong. Yi Jo all percent the Beja to Samojong. Ojenu, jo yatone, ku besho hata unreached people group. Yatone, ku chita zai zumojong. Tancho, yatu samojong, ojenu, nyojo ipo, jijo, lute shi tancha. Kumo, yojo, I'm sorry, kumo jojo jo, jangtone. Yale tim, tejenu, yai tejenu, kunyo hang. Tim. Please introduce yourself and describe your role as VP for Alliance Mission.
My name is Tim, and I'm here with my wife, Shelley, and I grew up in Pennsylvania, but she lived here in Milwaukee when she was young. And through the years, we served the Lord here in the United States, and then for many years in Russia. We also lived in Istanbul, Turkey. And in 2014, is when John Stumble, our president, asked us to come back and for me to give oversight to Alliance Missions. And what that means is I get to work with a team like this in order to care for and serve about 700 international workers all around the world that are serving from our Alliance family.
Next, Tim, why does Alliance Mission have a holistic approach to word and deed in mission?
I think there are three reasons, and the first one is easy. It's because it's what Jesus did, right? Jesus in his ministry on earth modeled for us the importance of serving people and of speaking truth to people. And secondly, he told us in a verse that we like and use often in the Alliance, Matthew chapter 24, verse 14, that this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world. And the kingdom speaks to us not only of the message of truth, but of the way it changes and impacts lives and communities and families and touches every part of our life, in the workplace and everywhere. And so it's important for us to embody the gospel, embody the good news of the kingdom, as well as to speak it to people. And then thirdly, I think I would say that increasingly in our world today, in order to get to share the good news of Jesus and get to make disciples and get to see the church planted, we really must come to serve. We should serve people's needs. We should see lives transformed. We should see livelihoods improved. We should see communities changed. We should see the workplace impacted. It's important that ministry is holistic.
Thank you, Tim. New Alliance Mission, Bemo Adu Litar Lashi Adu AVP, El Stumble Hako, El Stumble Tokong Chita Bejano, U Tegeno, Ge Lushai, Jatu Samajong, Gunya Japan Access, Bemo Le Bepo Jojo, Yiling, Kalenda, U Chikong Te, Bang Klai Jo Administrative Klinu, Jotan Chope, Jopo Hyang to Hyang, to Alliance Mission IWs. Dinomo Guyolu No Nate, Nia to Director, Jo Marketplace Ministry, Ushai Zule Ipo, Blocker Chow, to IWs the Shi to Samojong. Nate, please introduce yourself and describe your role.
Nyaja. My name is Nate. I'm from Ohio, from Cleveland, Ohio. I spent about 10 years in China, and then recently about 9 years in the Middle East. And then last year, I just moved to Columbus, to the national office. So I'm the director of Marketplace Ministries, which is one of the structures of the Alliance for sending IWs abroad. We have about 150 workers that are overseas. And so my role is to lead them, to guide them, to help them in any way that they can, in any way that they need, to coach them, and equip them to do their work well, to bless the community, and to use their livelihood and vocation to make disciples.
Next, Nate, what are some of the different types of marketplace workers serving around the world? And please give us one example of how a marketplace worker is making a kingdom impact.
It's a pretty large spectrum in these 150 people. A few examples are we have hydroponic farmers that produce organic vegetables in Kazakhstan. In the field of education, we also have seminary professors in the heart of Pakistan in a government-registered college. Then we also have a woman that opened a hospital in Central America. They do 500 surgeries a year, and they share the gospel with the patients and disciple the employees. And one example, I would say in North Africa, there is a man that has a marketing company where they recycle old wood and turn it into furniture. And through this marketing company, they've been discipling their employees, and they've opened up a theological school. And recently I was able to attend one of the baptisms of one of the men that he has discipled. So he's using his vocation in marketing and discipling his employees and discipling all the clients and people that come through. And two more examples of people that are in Marketplace are Va Yang, who has a clothing business in Southeast Asia, and also Paul Her, who runs an organization in Thailand helping Hmong students, giving them a place of education and giving them a home.
Thank you, Nate. Dino Maguyo no Ron Lisa Ramsey. Atu yatu director to Karma Services. We shall to lay chok your to IWS Lashitu Samajong. Ron and Lisa, could you please introduce yourself and describe your roles?
Good morning, Hmong Alliance family. We are Ron and Lisa Ramsey. We served for 15 years in the Republic of Kosovo before coming back to the States to oversee Karma Services. Karma Services stands for Compassion and Mercy Associates, and our dedicated staff, through word and deed, are sharing the love of Christ through immediate relief and long-term development that leads to those transformed lives and restored communities.
Next, could you share about one relief or development project that Karma is doing and how it is opening the door for people to hear about the gospel?
Yeah, I can share about that. Karma works in the context of disaster relief as well as with urban and rural poor and refugee and IDPs. I want to share with you about what's happening in Ukraine. Of course, the war, everyone's aware there that has been a very dark and difficult time, and yet we know God is there. And we have partnered. Karma works through partnerships with the Alliance missions in Ukraine, as well as the pastors in Ukraine, to bring food and blankets, heat, build houses, all through the war. And as they would do this, as they bring their trucks into the villages, they share the gospel. The result has been tremendous because of God's great love. We've seen maybe 13 churches that we started partnering with, and now there's 27. And even during the war, there's been so many baptized. There were 30 people baptized, just to think in Odessa last year, and one report. But we're seeing God's love transform lives and restore communities, even in the midst of war. And it's Karma's privilege to come alongside and partner in those situations.
Thank you, Ron and Lisa. Dino Maguyolo no Paul Honeycutt. Near the director to a vision, we shall to lay Xiangyo to IWS Lashitu Samojong. Paul, could you please introduce yourself and tell us about your work?
Yeah, my name is Paul Honeycutt. I first started in Alliance Ministry as a pastor, a youth pastor and a missions mobilizer for 10 years. and then moved from there into an Envision role in the city of Cleveland. That's why I wear the hat. I got roasted one time at a district conference like this for wearing an Atlanta hat, so I said, you gotta get a Cleveland hat. But we exist, I serve on the team of the national office of 8 people, and our goal is to identify and develop missional leaders through short-term experiences and strategic ministry focus.
Next, Paul, could you share why Hmong District churches should send short-term participants and interns with Envision?
Yes, you guys all know the familiar verse, the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. And the reality is our pool is low of people that are serving around the Alliance work in the world. And so we really would encourage you guys to come and experience what God is doing in the world. There's many organizations out there that you can go and see what God is doing, but Envision really wants to highlight what you've heard so far of what God is doing in Alliance. And I want to say publicly and personally to you, the Alliance wants you. We want you to join and be part of our team in taking the gospel around the world. The gospel access for and from all people. We heard last night a challenge. We've got the gospel. Now it's our turn to take it. So I'd encourage you and publicly invite you to be part of what God's doing through Alliance Work and Envision.
Thank you, Paul. Dino Monguyolu nu Mish Anwen. Niatu Director for IPO, Lashi International Placement Office. Mish, please introduce yourself and tell us about your work.
Awesome. Thanks, Val. Good morning, everyone. It's so great to be with you this morning. I was born here in Milwaukee. I lived here a whole 9 months before God took me to a number of different places. Came to know Jesus as a senior in high school. My husband and I got married. We're looking for a new church, driving around, and saw one that said Christian and Missionary Alliance, which to us meant they love Jesus and they want other people to love Jesus. So that's the family for us. We served in lay leadership at our church there in Atlanta for a number of years. God invited me into full-time ministry with the Alliance, serving at a church in Salem, Oregon, Salem Alliance Church, where I was a middle school pastor and a missions pastor before stepping into this role 3 years ago. As far as what I do now, directing the International Placement Office, our team looks at this journey about what does it look like to walk alongside people who are sensing a call to missions. And we walk with them through the journey from, I think I might be called to this missions thing, to putting them on a plane or getting to the place where God has invited them for his next best assignment for them. It's a journey, one of discipleship. It's a discipleship journey of discernment, development, and ultimately deployment to where they go next. And we're really honored to get to partner with people doing that.
Next, Mish, is the Alliance experiencing a shortage or surplus of IWs wanting to go and serve overseas? And how can Hmong District churches help with sending workers?
Yeah, Paul already mentioned, right? The harvest is plentiful and the workers are few. And so I would say all of us would say, yes, there is a shortage. There are too many people on the planet who have yet to hear Jesus' name. There are too many people who haven't experienced all of Jesus yet. And as we celebrated and remembered last night, we've all experienced that, and we want to be part of sharing with other people. And so, yes, there is a shortage. We have 163 current roles listed. They are filled by singles, couples, and families, which means we're looking more like 300 people that we're looking to send. I was inspired by even the offering last night, looking at what does it look like to be able to send new workers and reach new people groups from this Hmong family. And I just wonder, could you imagine with me, if 115, I think that's the number of Hmong churches are out there, what if 115 Hmong churches each raised up new international workers? Can you imagine the change that would happen in our world and for the kingdom by you getting to send? And so we long to collaborate and partner with you as you're talking to and discipling people in your local communities who are sharing Jesus with their friends and their family, who are serving graciously and generously and representing Jesus to other people. We'd love to partner with you to send them wherever it is that God's calling them to go.
Thank you, Mish. Takono Kuyolunu Jim Sapia. Niatu Director to Global Link Office. Nitekinu Jinyo Ho Alliance Mission. Dashinyo Ho Church Ministry. Yale Nitu Taya Rosilio Roman. Nitekinu Ching to Alliance Mission. Vi Niatu Kupan Yo IWS to Ju to Japan. Japan to your IWs. Jim, please introduce yourself and describe your role.
สวัสดีครับพี่น้องผมดีใจมากที่มีโอกาสที่อยู่กับคุณอย่างนี้ My name is Jim and my wife and I served with the Christian Missionary Alliance in Thailand for 10 years and served with also in the country of Georgia for 10 years. And we're very excited to be able to be here and be able to worship God together with you. In 2021, Terry Smith invited me to come and lead the office of Global Link. Global Link's vision is to see all Alliance people mobilized for Kingdom Impact. All Alliance people. Not just IWs, not just pastors, from the youngest to the oldest, understanding the call that God has for them to make a Kingdom Impact where they are or across the world.
Next, Jim, could you share one or two ways local churches can better engage and partner with Alliance Mission? And additionally, please share the importance of the Converge Conference.
Sure, thank you. As we look at how to engage in Alliance missions, we heard over and over again last night about how God did a miraculous thing in reaching among people. How 75 years we have seen a people movement and have seen Hmong people from all over the world come to know Jesus Christ and begin to send people out. Paul mentioned it, it's not just to the Hmong people, it's also from the Hmong people. 75 years of the gospel going out from the Hmong people is exactly what it means to engage in Alliance missions. And how do you do that? Well, I think we do that by never forgetting that God rescued you. When we remember that God rescued us, it does something inside us. When we realize where He saved us from, it stirs in us to give. It stirs up in us a passion to pray. And it stirs in us a passion to go. The second thing I want to encourage you to do is, you heard again, invite people into the mission. We think of our children and we raise them up and we want them to be doctors and lawyers. They could be that, but they could also be serving God. Invite people into the mission and the call that God has for them to serve Him wherever He has. Raise up your children to serve the Lord. Every year in January, we have a conference called Converge. Last year, we had an incredible time of having the Hmong worship team come and lead worship. It was such a blessing that we had together as hundreds of people from churches all across America gathered together to talk and learn and strategize in missions. I'm going to invite you to come to that. There is a booth you can get information, and everyone here, I'm offering you a $50 discount code for your hotel and food. We would love to see you there. It's a great time to be able to celebrate what God's doing and look to the future to what God's called the Alliance into. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Nuno thọ tiếng ayam yo mo all workshop. Ilu workshop ke ya tiam khao chaku yo lokha to access the no. Aya thọ tu be tao mo chang tao sumo rong e mo chi chang pon jing be yo chi chang pon jing da le chang e cha le jong cho pang to ning ku be chi chang pon jing cho da ja be tao mo cho sang zhao也别个故事啊，别个嘞台湾就这么容易，别个看一本经呐，就嘞别我呢就得讲罗是呐，也头个你不集中就当东宁哦，如果下午我有要做红阿伯贝西，如果下哦也 Lisa 哈 Ron Ramsey 有ลูกค้า就เข้ามา services แต่เจนุ有ค้า要做红 S103B, okay? 但是我被知道我一度梦我这喏，要就不考嘛嘞。三个一想当的喏被摸啊被读梦，有 serve 要就不考嘛哈。头被等也被有摸 all the workshop 子，一路有内有ลูกค้า做 marketplace ministry 的这喏 marketplace ministry 也一直给做。被讲真，佢这个我是夫呢，我分我唱到这么容，就在这条，要用要做 home 就是 room S101D。ลูกworkshop อ๋ออย่าพอฮันนี่ค่ะอยู่ลูกค้า做 vision ได้ใจหนูอย่าอยู่ค่ะ做 room S103B。อี vision มัวดาวสุกี้จุดย้อนจริง唱到这么容， chỉ hai giờ tối nay cứ chỉnh số lố một chùa giờ cứ tôi retire rồi giờ là sang có mấy một cổ em chắp bao hát. Being a leader of Alliance Mission, leading and supporting IWs around the world is a very difficult job. Please remember to pray for Alliance leaders by name now that you know who they are. All of these leaders step into their role only because God called them to take the gospel to all nations. I'm glad that God has called me to be a missionary and now into my current leadership role, so I will have an understanding of what it's like to be in their shoes. The Hmong people in Laos first heard the gospel of Jesus Christ 75 years ago, thanks to Alliance Missions and the leaders who support them around the clock. Could you imagine 9 leaders supporting 677 IWs around the world, around the clock? As my fellow Hmong brothers and sisters, let's take this unique moment to thank them and all of our past Alliance Mission leaders. Can we stand and give them applause? You may be seated. 我们是到之后做的是很浓，台湾举办过杯，有在西贡的唱的这么中，我们通过的，来杯有主耶稣一路耶，我讲到。